to another edition of It's Just Me, of course, hosted by Brent Foxx. Tonight's live is probably going to be a little quick. There are things going on. I just decided to just try to do this while I could. I am primarily going to be talking about my Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, there was some news about the Javante Davis. Oh my goodness, my mind is the Javante Davis fight. Um, being possibly being canceled, but it's definitely being postponed. I did not get a whole lot of details on what actually happened. Just that him and Lamont Roach aren't fighting. Um, for right now. For right now. Let me phrase that carefully. For right now, it does not seem like they are actually going to fight. Um, I think in other mainstream boxing news, for me, it's been pretty slow. Um, Unfortunately, with the politics that go on with like with the main with the mainstream boxing, it kind of makes it a little it makes it a little difficult, or not a little difficult. It makes it very difficult to try to keep up. Now, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk are fighting in their rematch. If it's not this weekend, I think it's next weekend. And they'll try to battle again for undisputed. Um, in this particular matchup, um, to be honest, I think that Usyk may win a bit more convincingly this time. I just don't think that I don't from that fight, and it was actually good contest. It was a lot of back and forth action. Um, I just don't think that since Tyson Fury cannot use both his boxing ability and his size to just kind of lumber over or push down as far as weight on Alexander Usyk because he has stronger legs than stronger legs than Tyson Fury's previous opponents. He just might, yeah, that's since those two strategies are not going to work. I think that he's going to have like some difficulty beating Alexander Usyk, and the fact that Usyk is a southpaw, which means that you're not able to get a good rhythm with a jab when you're an orthodox fighter fighting a southpaw fighter, and you basically wind up having to punch in reverse. So what I mean by that, of course, is if you're an orthodox fighter, your left hand is used to jab, your right hand is used to just finish the job. With a southpaw, basically what you may have to do is instead of throwing like a hard right hand, you have to throw maybe a check right hand and then a right hook or a left hook, excuse me, to come right after it to get your combination off. Or in some cases, if you're able to make that southpaw move to their right, then you can kind of just move laterally, catch them with a left hook, and then come back with a right hand, um, and you can probably finish them that way or work on them that way. But yeah, take most southpaws if they're any good, they're gonna take away your jab. Um, Not completely take it away, I'm sorry, but just make it difficult for you to line them up for a jab. And you're very reliant on left hooks and then straight rights. Um, and of course, it depends on what fighting style that southpaw has as well. But yeah, I think the matchup still should be intriguing. But I just think that Usyk would probably win, and he probably win a little bit more convincingly this time. On to the subject that I wanted to come in here and talk about, which is my Pittsburgh Steelers. So my Steelers are taking on the New York Giants Monday night. Um, Russell Wilson, of course, for now, or we have to assume for now, knowing Coach Tomlin. Russ has been taking reps with the first team offense, so we would have to assume that he is actually going to be the starting quarterback against the New York Giants. Um, I think that this game initially is going to be a lot more challenging than what people think. I think that in the first quarter, or maybe even the first quarter and a half, leading into the second quarter, the Giants are actually going to put up a good fight. Hey, Tay Tay, thank you so much for stopping by. The Giants are actually probably going to put up a decent fight. The Giants actually have a good defensive front. Even though Thibodeau is actually out, um, I think Anderson is still playing, their defensive lineman, and he actually wreaks havoc. Like he's a defensive tackle, but like he's very good at disrupting running plays, and he is also very good at like totally just shedding off blocks and then wreaking havoc on the quarterback. Um, so it's going to be a lot more challenging than what people think. People think that just because the offense for the New York Giants isn't playing well, that this is going to be like some sort of blowout or easy game, that the Steelers should actually win. I just think that they're going to they're going to put up a good fight for about maybe a quarter and a half, and then I think the Giants, unfortunately, are very they tend to shoot themselves in the foot, just to kind of put it in terms people understand. They're very self-destructive. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, unfortunately, they're probably going to get a turnover, um, whether it be a fumbled snap, whether it be like an interception, um, or something of that nature. And shoot, we might actually have some sort of punt block as well. So not to rule that out. Oh, thank you, Tay Tay. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's what family does, sweetie. We look out for each other. That's you know, I don't want to make it sound like that, but that's what I should be doing. That's what I should be doing. I should always be able to look out for family, and you in my heart. All right. And I'll never forget you because you Tay Tay. So, yeah, what I would probably look out for is maybe like a punt block, a fumble from Daniel Jones, or possibly an interception from Daniel Jones. I just think that he is very turnover prone, and I don't think this coming week is going to be any different. So he's going to wind up turning the ball over, and I think that's probably when things kind of get out of hand. It's probably going to go, now that I think about it, not as severe as the Jets game at one point, because the Jets looked like they were in control at one point. I think that they put a good showing on for themselves, but I don't think that they're gonna have like established control at any point in the game. I just think that they'll put a good showing for themselves um, in the game, and then they're gonna turn the ball over, and then it's just gonna go haywire from there because they're gonna try to make up for it, and I think that's when the real problems begin. Um, Things to look out for, I think, is going to be probably George Pickens. Um, I think that he'll probably have another good game. I believe that Pat Fryermuth is probably also going to have another good game as well. I think that Russ is going to be able to have plenty of opportunities to get Fryermuth the ball as well, and I think as well as George Pickens as a result. The reason I'm phrasing it like that is I think that Russ is going to be able to get a rhythm, just kind of dumping the ball underneath quickly, and then I think it is going to help set up the play action. As far as the running game goes, I do not expect it to be as successful, as strange as that sounds, against the New York Giants than it did the Jets. I think that the passing game success opened up the running game against the Jets last week. But with the Giants, I think that I think that they'll probably put on a little bit better showing. I think that Najee will probably have some good yardage. I don't think it's going to be 100 yards, another 100-yard rushing day. I hope that I'm wrong, though. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. Um, but I think that he'll probably do something like maybe put up 65 or 70 yards on the ground, and he may have another 20 or 25 catching the ball out of the backfield. I think that I think that I think I cannot get my thoughts together. I'm sorry, guys. Um, I think that Jalen Warren is probably going to have he's going to have probably a decent game. I think that he'll probably get maybe 30 or 40 yards rushing, and I think that he'll have the same amount of yards receiving. He may even get his first touchdown this game for his first touchdown of the season this game as it gets out of hand. But I just think that the running game may not be as dominant as it was late in the game against the Jets. Um, but again, I would love to be proven wrong. So, but I do think that the Steelers actually win and win pretty convincingly in the end. Now, I'm going to say that it's probably going to be by 10 points, which means that they may win 27-17, something like that. The reason that I'm giving the Giants 17 points is I think that there will be an early score. And I think that they're possibly maybe in some time, I'll say garbage time, maybe some garbage time, they'll probably get another score and look up and kick another field goal. So that's where the 17 points is coming from. Um, and just to sum it up, I think that the Steelers go into the bye week sitting pretty good, but again, the Giants are actually going to look like they are really fighting at first. So I don't want anybody to be surprised. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to It's Just Me. Please check out my brother's Coach 67 Sports TV. He has a plethora of shows that he has on YouTube and on many other social media platforms as well. Please check out my brother Cadillac Red. He does his shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's BSing on the Beltway. That's on YouTube. Usually that comes on around probably like 7:30 Central Standard Time PM, of course, 7:30 PM Central Standard Time. Um, my brother Jared O11 Green, he has his show, Southern Baller Show, that usually comes on Sundays at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard in the afternoon. And then my brother, I Am Trill Will, has his shows on YouTube. And the show times actually vary. But please just tune in to I Am Trill Will. He has some excellent political commentary. He does actually have some very educational items that he discusses to try to get you socially conscious. It's actually helped me out quite a great deal. So I am definitely in appreciation of that. Please check out please check out my sister Tay Tay, the real queen of MMA and combat. She does her shows. Excuse me. I think usually, well, actually, she does her shows very consistently throughout the week, if I'm not mistaken. But if you're looking for any information on MMA fighters and what the training regimen is and what they basically do, styles, things of that nature, please check her channel out. She is very informative. She's been doing this for a very long time. So yeah, please check her out and take in her content. And plus, she has a very good spirit. So, you'll get some positive energy if you don't get anything else from her. Well, that is my time. I definitely want to thank anyone that has come through or anyone that is viewing. It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Foxx. and I will see you guys later.